What's up, y'all? So there has been a conversation around the league around who will be the next face of the league, since guys like LeBron, Steph, KD, all the old faces of the league are really starting to age out and we're entering a new era. And there's also been a conversation around the international players and can they be the face of the league, since we're starting to see guys like Giannis, Jokic, Luka all come in and dominate the NBA. So I have a collection of 6 players who I think could be the face of the league in the next 5 years. And being the face doesn't mean the best player in the world. I don't think Jokic is the face of the NBA right now, but he is the best player in the world. But I think you have to go off of marketability, the market that they play in, and they definitely have to have at least MVP upside. Starting with Victor Wembanyama from France, this seems to be the safest choice to who will be the face of the league in the next 5 years. He's still only 22 and completely dominating the NBA. He is in MVP talks just in his 3rd season, and his team is likely to win a championship, if not this season, definitely in the next 5 years. And he's just a very marketable guy. He's a 7'4 demigod, something that we have never seen before. And he's the best defensive player in the 2020s already, just in his 3rd season. And he is a stretch 5 at 7'4, the best rim protector in basketball, and he can pull it from 30 feet out and just a very fun watch. But the one con I do have against Victor Wembanyama, and why it's even a competition against the rest of the guys, is that he's very injury prone. He's in a 7'4", very thin frame. So we've already seen him get injured in his first 2 seasons, and he's questionable to make that 75 game rule this season. So the only knock against Victor Wembanyama would be his potential health. The next player is Anthony Edwards from America, and I think he just has one of the best personalities in the league on and off the court, and I think that does go a long way when you talk about marketability and being the face of the NBA. He's been to back-to-back Western Conference Finals as the true number one option, so he's shown that he can go on deep playoff runs, and I'm sure he will be able to lead a team at least to the finals in the next 5 years, if not a ring. And he's already two-time All-NBA, and he adds something new to his game every single season. He added a three-point shot. He's gotten way better at his playmaking. So who knows what kind of player we will see in 5 years. And I would not be surprised if we said that Anthony Edwards had an MVP in 5 years. And he's still only 24 years old. So in 5 years, he'll be 29, really in his prime. The third player is Luka Doncic from Slovenia, and he's already a bona fide top 5 player in the world. He made All-NBA first team as a sophomore and was All-NBA first team for 5 years straight, and he is on pace for his 2nd scoring title this season, winning his first in 2024, and I'm sure he will get his 2nd this season. He's already been to the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, carrying those Dallas Mavericks teams as the number one option to the highest of the heights. And he's doing all of this at just 27 years old. And I'm sure he will have an MVP in the coming years. I'm surprised he doesn't have one already. And then finally, if he plays in LA in 2030, he will be in the biggest market. So that's great for being the face of the NBA. And I'm sure in 2030 or by 2030, the Lakers will have built a better roster around Luka Doncic. And he will at least have some success, if it's Western Conference Finals, if it's NBA Finals, if it's championship. The fourth player is Cooper Flagg from the United States, and he is still very young, so it is hard to gauge what his career will pan out into. But just looking at what he's done as a teenager makes me believe he has MVP upside throughout his career, and he's at least a top 2 player in this stacked draft class. To me, he is the Rookie of the Year, but I understand if you want to go Nipple. But in just at 18, he averaged 19 points per game and broke records from an 18-year-old held by all-time greats like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. And then finally, you have the Mavericks Luka Doncic narrative that will probably be dragged out until the end of time, until both of them retire. And overall, it might be a little biased to put Coop here as a Mavericks fan, but I think he does have superstar upside, and I think he will be a superstar in this league. The fifth player is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from Canada, and it goes without saying how great Shai has been in his career. He won an MVP and Finals MVP all in one season, which is rare enough as is. There's not many players that have done that, but there is a chance he goes back-to-back doing it, something that I think only LeBron has done in 2012 and 2013. And he is truly one of a kind when it comes to guard mid-range scoring. He's shooting 60% on twos, which is just unheard of from the guard position, and he already has one scoring title from last season, and I'm sure he will be at the top of the scoring list until he retires. So I think he has all the traits to be a face of the league candidate. People will point to the foul baiting, but I honestly just hate that argument. If you don't like SGA selling calls, then you would hate to watch a Luka or a Jokic game. They do the exact same thing, bark at the refs. But I also think the foul baiting narrative could help his case for face of the league. I mean, LeBron was dealing with the same thing as his reign for face of the league. My final player before I get to honorable mentions is Cade Cunningham from America. And Cade has really just brought back Detroit basketball. His team had the longest ever losing streak, and now they are the first seed in the East. And although I don't know if Detroit can win a championship this season, with the right offseason, I would not be surprised if Cade Cunningham had a Finals MVP in the next 2 to 3 years. And he's in MVP conversations for what he's done with this Pistons team, leading them to the 1 seed, and all of that just in year 5 and 24 years old. So who knows how good a 29-year-old Cade Cunningham could be. So that is my 6-man ballot for face of the league, but I do want to give some honorable mentions. Starting with Nikola Jokic, who is currently the best player in the league, a 3-time MVP, a 1-time champion, but he is 31 years old, so I don't know if we can look at a 36-year-old Nikola Jokic to be the face of the NBA. In a similar vein, I have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who has had an amazing career so far, winning MVPs, winning DPOYs in the same season, which is another very rare occurrence. But Giannis is also 31 years old, and he has been pretty banged up already this season, so I don't know what a 36-year-old Giannis will even look like. Now, the American honorable mentions. To start, I have Jason Tatum, who has just looked like a top 5 player in the NBA for many years now while just turning 28 years old. So if he can consistently break into top 3 in MVP votes for a couple seasons, I think he could easily be looked at as the face of the NBA. Next is Jalen Brunson, and he is just one of the most entertaining watches in the NBA right now because it's insane how easy he makes it look to score in the mid-range at just 6'2", and he also gets the benefit of playing in New York and bringing that big market back to relevancy. Now, my final honorable mention is going to be AJ DeBonzo or Darren Peterson. I'm not a big college basketball guy, but just from seeing the hype around these young prospects, I'm sure they will come into the league and be great for years to come. So who knows, maybe in 5 years, we will see a face of the league AJ DeBonzo or Darren Peterson. So that is going to be it for my face of the league candidates. Make sure to let me know down below in the comments what y'all think. Who do y'all think will be the face of the league? And make sure y'all subscribe and leave a like.